We live? Sweet. All right. Well, guess I might as well bring some stuff over here before anyone joins. So, yeah, we'll wait in. I guess I should put my apron on, though. Slightly annoyed right now because I just finished recording and editing my new video that I was planning on releasing today. It was basically focused on, thanking Shadowversity for fulfilling his end of the deal, while also telling people about Patreon. But I talked more about Patreon and less about the shout out, and I wasn't happy with that. So I basically scrapped the entire video and have to redo it. And I'm writing a new script, but I was in the middle of writing it. But then it turns out it's Sunday and it's 9 p.m., so I got to do the stream. So what we're doing is I was doing this last Sunday, making a stand for a client so that he can put this hammer that I made for him on it. Get this cable out of the way. So it's making the stand, right? And it's cut into shape, but it's very rough. I still have to, sand it. I mean, you can just tell by looking at the edges there that it's pretty rough. So I'm going to sand this, and then I'm going to, I have my varnish somewhere. It's in one of these boxes around me, or maybe it's no, here it is. This is polyurethane satin varnish for wood. I'm going to apply a couple of coats of it to this stuff. Shouldn't take too long, though. Most of this stream will probably be focused on a different commission I'm doing, which is actually an Elder Scroll, if you can believe that. Well, of course you can. You saw me make other ones, didn't you? But I've got the patterns for it right over here. So here's the pattern for the limb. So this is probably what I'm going to be working on for most of the stream. But before I get to that, I want to finish this. And I also need to cut some slits out so that these two pieces can actually connect with each other. So I'm going to do that first. Then we'll sand. Then we'll varnish. Then we'll start working on the Elder Scroll. Okay, so I don't really know where to put them. So let's try and figure out where the midpoint is. So this is about 21 inches long. Okay, so that's the middle right there. And actually we can just do that. And I guess that's 6, right? 16, 22. Yeah, right here. Okay. All right. So we're going to cut some slits in there with the bandsaw, probably halfway down. And I don't remember how long. I think this is just an inch and a little less than an inch and a half. So I guess we'll cut the slit at 3/4 of an inch, both of them, and we'll do the same with pieces down here. Probably right smack in the middle, maybe a little further to the back edge, actually. So more like the midpoint between these two spots. So if we do that, that's exactly an inch and a half. So we'll mark it at 3/4. Which means that this is 3/4, so 3/4 down here as well. And how deep do we want that to go? 3/4? Yeah. So 3/4 all the way. Now, I don't know how wide it's going to be, the cuts, but we'll just play that by ear. And this can also be 3/4. And this can be 3/4. And we'll do the same with this piece here. Gotta mark where this is first. So 3/4 on this end, like so. And 3/4 here. Boom. All right, these black lines are where we're going to cut the slits so that they can connect with each other without having to use glue or hardware. So I'm going to go do that on the bandsaw real quick. Nothing interesting to look at because I couldn't really get the camera to look at it. But we're just starting, so I guess that's not a huge deal. All right, let me get my mask. All right, I'm gonna cut these slits out now, so I'll be back in a minute. All right, that's this. Oh, I just lost a filter. That's slit cut out there. So is that gonna fit over this? No, it's just a little too small. Okay, yeah, we could have widened the gap just a little more. So looks like we got some new people. Hi, yo, what's up, guys? So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting these slits out of this here stand so that these can lock into each other without needing glue or hardware. So the slit for this is just a little too small, so I gotta widen it a little bit. I gotta do the same for these two spots here and also right here. So, and then I gotta sand the edges because yeah, that's a pretty jagged cut right there. And then give it some varnish with where is it? Where did I put it? Yeah, this right here, polyurethane varnish. And once that's done, or once the varnish is drying, I'm gonna make an elder scroll. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but yeah, that's what's happening. Anyway, back to it. Okay, how's this? Now it's a little too wide. That's okay though. As long as both pieces are more or less right size, that's good enough. So all right, let's cut that out. Yes, yes, I am gonna write something on it. The client wanted it. Oh, I gotta fix the filter. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, the client wanted it so that it had dragon text on it, and she's actually getting it for her boyfriend. And the boyfriend plays Skyrim a lot and has favorite shouts, and she wants me to write the text of those shouts on the scroll paper somewhere. So that's what I'm doing. I don't think I'll get to writing the scroll paper on the stream today because it takes a while to just make a single limb. But I'm gonna shoot for it. All right, back to using the bandsaw. All right, that's one. These could just probably break off, right? Yeah. Come on. Okay, yeah, I should probably clean this up. All right. Okay, it's a little loose, but that's okay. Not bad. Not complaints so far. All right, let's do the other one. Okay. That's a little better. All right, cool. I'm still working on this stand for the client who wanted the nickel hammer here. I'm making the stand for him right now. Last week I cut the shapes out, so I'm basically making a katana stand for it. So this is the base piece right here, right? And then these are the two stands. And I'm cutting these slits out with my bandsaw to make them so that they lock into each other like that. Except that's a little loose. This one is more suited for that side. So basically like that, so you don't have to, install with screws or glue or anything. And then once these slits have been cut out, I'm going to basically sand and polish the edges as much as I can, and then give it the varnish here. And while the varnish is drying, I'm going to work on an Elder Scroll. So I was working on a video not too long ago. I don't know if you heard this already, but I was working on making a video talking about Patreon and thanking Shadowversity for his shout out. But the video was a lot more focused on the Patreon side of things, and I wasn't happy with that at all. So I decided to kind of start over and completely redo the video. And well, it took me all day to both record and edit what I already had. So that was just a whole day wasted right there. So I'm gonna probably spend tomorrow night working on that. And well, at the same time, this here Elder Scroll is in fact due. I have to get it done as soon as I can. I'm on a bit of a time crunch right now, but I'll push through. So yeah, I got to redo the video completely from scratch. And yeah, I was writing the scripts just before I started the stream. But yeah, anyway, let's cut this last slit out from the bottom of this piece here. And then we'll get to sanding. Something like this. Hello there. Well, I don't know if you knew, but my next cosplay project is the Gannon family Tesla armor from Fallout New Vegas, and I am going to make the Spurtlewood 9700 Gatling laser for it. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Oh, stupid website. All right, hold up. Anyway, so not making them immediately, but this is what I'm going to make next. Sorry, my internet is pretty slow down here, especially since I'm streaming. Yeah, this Gatling laser right here. Probably the next Fallout item I'm going to make. And that's going to go with my suit of power armor. So I don't know when that's going to happen, but it is my next cosplay project. So, yep. Oof. Come on. There we go. All right. So I just got to cut this last slit out right here, and then we'll get to sanding and polishing. So that'll just take a minute, guys. And then we'll start working on this Elder Scroll here. I'll just leave the pattern there for you guys to look at. Okay. Back on with the respirator. Where's my Sharpie at? There it is. Okay. All right. I cut that slit out. Perfect. Well, not really perfect, but as good as I can get it. I'll put this stupid respirator. I mean, I like my respirator, but it's annoying. So, yeah. Let's see how these fit together. Okay, that's pretty good. It's a little loose, but I think it's good. What if we switch them? Yeah, this one's a little loose too. Okay, well, I could put spacers in later, but yeah, that seems to be okay. All right. Now, Might be a little tricky for it to maintain balance, but yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to put little stands on the very bottom of this just to keep it from falling forward, because I've got the hammer in place right now, and if I let it go, it falls forward. So I got to put little feet on it, because what I have right now isn't exactly adequate. So, or maybe I could get these pieces to drop down further, so that instead of being flush with the bottom like that, they go all the way down to the ground, or to the surface of the table. So yeah, I think I will do that. So in that case, I'll have to carve into these pieces a little more, and then we'll get to the sanding. Hello. Yeah, for 15. Yeah, no kidding. That's how it is in Fallout 4. Hey, Chris of Many Hats. I should have been asleep and yeah, found and half hours ago, but I figured I'd drop in and say howdy. Yeah, good on you, man. Good on you. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to make these slits a little deeper, so that now, instead of being more or less flush with the bottom, like it is right now, it's going to go all the way down to this level here. So that's going to just take me a minute. Yeah, how far does this one need to go? Let's do let's see here. Whoa, okay. 4.5 is what I meant, ciliatic. Yeah. Don't worry about it. It happens. And we'll do another 3/8, I guess. Something like that. On this one. Okay. Okay, how's that? Ow. How's this? Does this go all the way down? Yeah, almost. Just a little more, like another 1/8 of an inch or so. Okay, how's this? Just okay, tad more. Or is it on this side? Okay, it's perfect on this side, more or less. It does. I do need to give it some tightness. I don't know how I'm going to do that though. I'll figure it out. All right, and this side, yeah, that needs to drop down all the way. So, how much am I missing here? About 1/4 inch. Okay, let's cut into this now. Okay, how's this? A little more. Okay, how's that? Hello, David Wingate. How you doing, man? Okay, just a little more. Just a little more. Almost there. Okay, how's that? Just got off work. Nice, nice. I wish I could say that, but no. I've been at work pretty much all day. Yo, what is happening? So I'm to get you guys up to speed on things. I'm making a stand for a client. So what I made for him was this forge hammer here, and this is the one you guys see in my YouTube videos on this, or YouTube video. There's only one right now, but he asked me to make a stand for it. This is basically a katana stand that I'm carving out with just plywood, and right now I'm cutting the slits out so that these interlock, but they're kind of loose, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But they're at the right size, so it's just a matter of sanding and varnishing at this point. And I've got the varnish right here, and I'll have to apply that with a foam brush. But now I just got to sand these. Sanding is always fun, huh? All right. At least you guys can see this, though. Okay. I guess I'll try my Dremel on this guy. Well, the stand looks good so far. Well, thank you. Oh, wait. I forgot. I have a belt sander somewhere for wood. Yeah, it's down here. There we go. Let's use that instead of the Dremel. It's pretty loud, though. Effective, though, that's for sure. Yeah, not bad. Let's keep going. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to take a finer grit to this, but it's looking good. Oh, that thing is so loud. All right, the rest I'll have to do with the Dremel. But yeah, that's effective. I like it. All right, what do we got here? Hello, Stephen. Good to see you here. I love being in the middle of work and seeing that Quantum Leap channel is live. Yeah, well, it's like it's 9:30 p.m. where I live. I know you're in China, but yeah, it's about sundown right now. Will you do any Sekiro builds? Sekiro? I don't know what that is. I'll look it up real quick, though. Judging by the name, I'm going to guess it's an anime. I could be dead wrong, though. Nope, looks like it's a video game. Okay. Oh. Oh, yeah, I see. I've seen this before. Well, I do kind of want to dress as a samurai at some point. Dark Souls Ninja Samurai. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But yeah, I've been wanting to make samurai armor. Uh, I don't know when I'm gonna get around to it, but if I'm gonna do it, I might as well make it like epic, right? So yeah, that could be a good inspiration for that, I think. So I don't think I'll do it anytime soon, but yeah, it's on the radar. So Steven, I'm doing what I was doing last week, more or less. So I'm making a stand, a katana stand for a client, and the client, what he wanted was this hammer here, and this is in my YouTube video, and he also wanted a stand for it. So that's what I'm working on right now. I already have all the shapes cut out, and I had the slits cut out too. So it's just a matter of sanding and varnishing it. And also for spots like this, I got to fill those in too. So, but yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Would you ever consider doing a functional hunter axe from Bloodborne? I have not played Bloodborne. I haven't played a whole lot of games in my life because the games I have played, I invest a lot of time in. Bloodborne, what's it called? Hunter axe. Okay. So what do you mean by functional? Like, is there like a mechanism that it does? Oh, does it extend? Goes from one-handed to a two-handed weapon or something? Huh. I suppose that could be accomplished with like PVC pipes, but I haven't thought about that just mostly because I haven't even played that game. But yeah, that would be pretty interesting. There's a lot of detail on this too, with the, I guess, like rags and everything. I got it right. Okay. Well, yeah, I might. Haven't considered it, but now that you bring it up to my attention, yeah, it's possible. I don't know when if I do it, but yeah. Anyway, let's keep sanding. Okay. So this one's done, more or less. I still have to Dremel the inside, so I'll go and do that now. All right, that one's done. I'll go ahead and varnish this just because why not? Although I guess it couldn't hurt to hit with some 320 grit sandpaper, but yeah. In the meantime, you guys have things to say, don't you? Might as well get my face in there if I can. Bloodborne is Dark Souls in Gothic London. Oh, okay. More or less, with about 37 gallons of bunkers per square meter and about as much Lovecraft. Okay. Well, that seems bloody livid, doesn't it? When building, do reference builds done by other prop builders on YouTube or prefer to be completely original? The only time I've ever used another YouTuber's video to make something was my very first prop, and it was the Peacekeeper, McCree's gun from Overwatch. And I can actually go get it for you real quick. I'll show you. right, so bye, Steven. So this is my here. Let me see if I can fix the lighting. This is my Peacekeeper right here. Not super proud of it, because it was my first prop, and the only reason I'm keeping it is because of sentimental value and the fact that Matthew Mercer signed it. But that Matthew Mercer is McCree's voice actor, by the way. But yeah, that Peacekeeper was the only time I basically copied or used another person's video to make something. Everything beyond that, I've kind of done completely on my own. Just pick something to make, figure out how to make it, and then just take one thing at a time. Sometimes you get overwhelmed, but rule of thumb is when you get overwhelmed, just pick something, do whatever it is one at a time, and eventually you'll get through the whole thing. So yeah. All right, well, let's put this back on and do the rest. Or actually, I guess I can varnish this now. No. I need to hit it with 320 grit. Not sure what the grit of this Dremel bit is, but anyway. Yeah, that's pretty good. Matthew Mercer autograph. Woohoo! Totally worth it. Yeah, it was. I eventually am going to make a video talking about that experience, and also kind of self-loathing at how ridiculously bad my Peacekeeper is. But I will go over how I met Matt Mercer, because it was a pretty interesting story, believe it or not. I guess I could tell you a little bit about it right now, though. So what happened was when I started doing cosplay, my first cosplay was as McCree from Overwatch, and it was his Mystery Man's. I decided to go with his Mystery Man version instead of the original one. Just wanted to be different, and because I had decided to start going to conventions after a friend convinced me to start doing it, and so on Saturday, because conventions are usually 3-day events, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So on Saturday, Matthew Mercer was coming over to sign autographs, but I didn't find out about it until about 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. And I got pretty lucky too, because he was signing autographs starting at 10:30. So I found out just in time. And so then the line started forming, and I was lucky enough to get in the first third of it. And the convention staff kicked the other 2/3 out of the line out, because there were just way too many. So I was lucky enough, and not only that, but when I actually got up to his stand, where he was, or his desk rather, it was 12 p.m., which is also what high noon is. So he signed. So Matt Mercer, the voice actor of the character I dressed as, signed the prop I made at high noon, which is his catchphrase, right? So yeah, it was awesome. I was very lucky to have done that, because I discovered it at the last minute, and I actually decided to do cosplay. So yeah. Okay, I got to do this bottom side too. Yeah, that convention was fun, and I've been going to that ever since. That was in 2017. So my most recent time was back in April, and that was my 3rd time there. So yeah, I'm going there from now on. It's a SakuraCon up in Seattle. I live in Portland, and it's actually an anime convention, and I'm not super into anime, but it's the one I went to because that's the one my friends were going to. I'm not friends with most of those people anymore, but yeah. Okay, that's more or less as smooth as it gets. So, okay. Not perfect, but it's good enough. So, all right. So now I just got to varnish this guy. And I don't think this one has any holes in it, because this one here does have a couple holes. I should probably fill those with Quick Seal right now, actually. And then give it a gel stain later. Stuff is really hard to squeeze out. All right. This is actually a paint knife, not a putty knife, but I only use it for quick seal. For filling in gaps. Works like a charm. All right, now this is going to have to sit. I can't sand this until this dries, so yeah, I'm going to have to set this aside. This other piece I can sand, but I want to get the varnish on here first. I actually got Kitsune-con here in Green Bay this weekend. Nice. Sadly, I highly doubt I'll have so poetic an autograph. Yeah, that was huge luck on my part there. So yeah, I don't think I'll ever get anything like that again. So that's why I keep this thing, despite how ridiculously bad it is. I'll go ahead and tell you one thing. So I when I first started doing cosplay, I didn't really have a Dremel. So I started in, I think, October of 2016, and then I actually got my Dremel, this thing here, for Christmas that year. So I started using it, but I didn't know how to use it properly, so I ended up damaging it right about there. See that? It's very imperfect. And I also didn't bother carving in the engravings on the barrel here. But yeah, I'm going to rant all about how terrible this thing is in a dedicated video at some point. And yeah, the only reason I keep it is for sentimental value. If it didn't have such an interesting story behind it, I would have gotten rid of it a long time ago. Okay, so yeah, let's varnish this guy. Where are my foam brushes? Here they are, up top here. Although there was a time 2 years ago when I Pied Piper a group of cosplayers to a giant chessboard across the entire convention center. Oh, nice. Yeah, Sakura-con actually does cosplay chess too. I never got to participate in one yet. I don't know if I will, because that's not super interesting to me. Definitely an interesting concept, though, but I personally rather would be walking around and taking pictures. In fact, the only reason I go to that convention is to show off my cosplay and also kind of spread the word about my channel and business. I don't really go there for the panels or anything because I don't really watch anime. Don't I have a screwdriver here somewhere? Oh, I just use my soldering iron to get this stupid lid off. Soldering iron is bust anyway. I let my brother use it, and he didn't take care of it at all. No, it's too large. I do have Instagram, yes. Just look up Quantum Leap Cosplay with underscores instead of spaces, and you'll find it. Okay. I don't really want to use my paint knife. That'll break. Oh, I'll use my chisels because I never, ever use these things. I don't even know why I got them when I did, but I can use them to pry this off. Unless they break. Yeah, see? It's tool steel, so it's brittle. I do have a knife over here. I don't want to use that, though. All right, I'll go get my Swiss Army knife. I'll be right back. It's got a standard head screwdriver on it. Okay, got it. It looks like the left. That's okay. Gotta go. Love your stuff. Yeah, likewise, man. All right, let's see if I can get this off now. A pair of scissors, huh? I'll try that if this fails. I think I'm getting it though. It's really stubborn though. Gosh. Like it's bending the metal instead of actually opening the can. Yeah, see, oh, there we go. Yeah, it's a urethane, so it's kind of annoying like that. Anyway, let's go ahead and do this. So we'll do the top side and the edges, and then we'll do the bottom side once this side dries. I only have one pair of scissors too, and I don't want to risk breaking them, so they're these ones here. Although they're not super expensive. Like I got a pair of those for like $6. So, but it's also very inconvenient because all the places are closed right now, except like Winco. I don't think they sell scissors though. Yeah, let's varnish up the edges of this. Looking good so far. Betting the client will be happy to see that this is getting done. Been waiting a long time for this. Okay, looking good. All right, we'll set this guy aside. Over on my paints here. Okay. Stuff smells nice too, if you can believe that. All right, let's get this done. Actually, I want to set my varnish aside so I don't get wood dust in it. All right, so I can't work on this piece because the quick seal is drying. So I will sand this with my belt sander over here. This guy. And then once this is sanded and varnished, then we'll start working on the Elder Scroll. So I need to put my respirator on again. But at least you guys can see this. The three of you watching right now. All right, here we go. Alright, that's about all the belt sander can do. Alright, Dremel time. Alright, looking good. Ah, cool. I'll have to cut this off though. Alright. Alright, let's hit this with some 320 sandpaper, and then we'll varnish this, and then we'll start working on the other scroll. Oh dear, I see you too are a member of the... I'm not going to try and pronounce that. School of Tool. Not sure what that means, to be honest with you. I'm sorry. I feel like that's a reference I should get, but I don't. Anyway, let's stand this up. Oh, okay. I'll look him up when I get some time. Yeah, I'm not caught up on all the pop culture references and whatnot. I've just been so busy with, you know, work. Oh, I saw. Okay, that's great. Drill press lathe. Yeah. That sounds pretty interesting, actually. I will have to look that up. But yeah, I guess I wasn't using that belt sander the way it was intended to be used, because that kind of belt sander is a handheld one. So you're supposed to hold it like this and stand like that, but it's kind of heavy, and it's also meant for like really large surfaces. So no thanks. Works perfect for, you know, an actual belt sander, one that you are supposed to press against. It's just I have to use my hand to keep it turned on. I'll get an actual one in due time though, because I want one. But I'm going to keep that one because I also want to get into carpentry at some point. Okay, yeah, this is coming together nicely. Little uneven, but that's okay. Just live with it. It's not like this thing was machine made or anything. And plus, me being new to like carpentry and not knowing a whole lot about woodworking, yeah, I probably picked the wrong wood for this job. But it's good enough. Okay, that's good. This one's still a little rough. Yeah. Oh yeah, I got to do this underside too. Okay, let's do that. This thing's heating up all right. Hey Ricky, what's up, man? Good to see you here. Okay, yeah, that's more or less smooth. Let's get this other side now. Let's get these scruffies off. There we go. Okay, this is more or less. Oh, I could have. Yeah, I should do this too. Forgot to do it on the other piece. Oh well. Yeah, it doesn't make that much of a difference. All right, never mind. Okay, time to varnish this guy. Then we can start working on the other scroll finally. Okay. Put it over by my paints. Yeah, here it is. Okay. I just love that. It's so satisfying. I don't even need to say anything. You can just watch me varnish this. Right, let's do the edges. Okay. Almost done. Not going to bother doing the cutouts though, because you're not going to really see those anyway. Okay, that's done, more or less. Just gotta wait for that to dry now. Okay, set this guy aside. We can toss this brush and put the lid back on, but not all the way. Just I need to open that later. Okay, so the stand is more or less done for now. I can't really work on it anymore at this point. So, and we just passed 1 hour. So let's get this Elder Scroll on the move here. I do need to find my X-Acto knife. It's been missing for a while. I mean, I'm sure it's here somewhere, but I don't see it right now. That's my mold. Where's my X-Acto knife? Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. All right, scissors it is. All right, let's cut this up. So this is a 4-footer, right? Yeah, that's what the client wanted. Okay. Oh, yeah, I think somebody requested this pattern in a comment not too long ago. So yeah, I'm working on getting these. I already bought a Dropbox account. Well, I mean, I got the trial, but I'll have to start paying like, I think it's 10 a month or something, or 6 a month or something, to have a Dropbox account. But I'm going to use it to make all the patterns that I've made free for you guys to use, including armor ones. But for me to get the armor ones to you guys, I have to go and scan them, and I don't have a printer, so I have to go to a retailer and scan them, and then just upload the files. Although the files, I'm going to have to not only scan them, but I'll have to take the scanned images and basically trace over them in Illustrator to make them more consistent, more professional, that kind of thing. So yeah, I've already got 2 patterns up on Dropbox right now. One's the anti-material rifle, and the other is the steel longsword from Skyrim. Somebody, one of my Instagram followers, actually requested the anti-material rifle, so I went ahead and did that. And the steel longsword just happened to be the first one I saw when I was doing that, so I just that's why that one's up. But okay, I got to use my box knife for this. And I actually probably should sharpen this guy too. If you guys knew this, but you can sharpen your blades with sandpaper. You just go like this a number of times. You don't and it saves you a lot of money on these blades when you just sharpen them. And the only time you actually replace the blade is when it breaks. And even when it breaks, you can still use it. So I do not recommend changing out the blade every time it gets dull, because that's going to waste a lot of money on you. So instead, just get some 320 grit sandpaper and then do this, and it should increase the life of the blade for a heck of a long time. Not forever, obviously, but yeah. It's freaking dust, man. Okay. Dropbox, the app, the Emoji Movie was almost entirely designed to advertise. Yeah, it has a nasty reputation, I guess, but you know what? I don't care. I didn't even see the movie, so I don't know. I don't really watch movies anymore. So the last time I was in a theater was actually for a movie that's already been out for decades, and that was Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. It was Studio Ghibli's first movie, and they were playing it in theaters a few months ago, so I watched that. But yeah, I just don't really spend my time watching movies. I spend it doing cosplay. That's just what I do. And making videos and what was the other thing? Well, yeah, working a day job too, obviously, because I need an income. But yeah, and running the business, of course, for commissions and whatnot. Got to get those done. I still have a whole bunch I got to do. I want that queue to be clear, but I don't think it'll ever be clear at this point, unless I shut down the shop until it is clear, which I may do at some point, but that's not what's happening right now. So yeah. Yeah, see, this is why I like the X-Acto knife, because it's more easier to control for cuts like this that are more precise. So, oh well. It'll turn up eventually when I actually tidy this area up. Okay. If you guys are wondering if I've made videos on the Elder Scroll already, I have, although I might do them again. Not this time, but later. Because the one I have in my house for myself, that was part of my cosplay as a Daedric in Daedric armor. Yeah, it's junk. It's a terrible Elder Scroll. So if I decide to redo it, then that's what's going to make into the YouTube videos. Even though the ones I already have are okay-ish. I don't really watch my own videos though, especially after I publish them, because there's always something that you can find in your own creative work that you can improve. The artist's greatest critic is themselves. And that's no exception, whether you do cosplay or YouTube or both, like me. But yeah, maybe, I don't know when though. And it's going to have text on it because my first one doesn't have text on it. I was too lazy at the time. I made that thing like, what, 2 years ago? Or yeah, something like that. It was a while ago. All right, almost done. I need to sort this Elder Scroll too, because the place I decided to cut it in half, not the most practical spot, which is right here. So, yeah. Hey, quick question for the 4 of you that are here. If I started making gaming content every so often, would you guys watch that? Because my best friend, who happens to also be my currently only Kugelblitz patron, told me that she might get me a whole bunch of games, and she wants me to record them and upload them to my channel. I don't know if those videos will do well though. So I guess I'll ask you guys. Do you think it's a good idea for me to do some gaming content every now and then? I mean, I'm still going to focus on cosplay, but yeah, I would like to play some games and upload videos of them. I just don't know if I want to risk doing that. Lucky dude, yeah. Couldn't ask for a better friend, honestly. I think it would be fun, and I do have some footage recorded from a long time ago. But back then I was a lot less engaging in my speech. So it would have been kind of boring to watch. Unless I decided to make a montage out of it. All right, that's the limb for the Elder Scroll right there. I got to make 2 of these. Then I got to make the middle part. And I have a PVC pipe for that somewhere. Yeah, here it is. It's about 4 or 5 feet long, but this is going to make the middle piece right here. Ooh, careful. All right. Well, now I got to dissect this into the 7 pieces again. So, yeah, okay. I can use scissors for this, actually. Oh, yeah, I need to record for my amino story, too. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do that with my phone, because that's what I do with amino. All right, 1 second. All right, here's the pattern for the limb. Got to make 2 of these, though, but I just need 1 pattern for it. Depends on the games. I'd certainly say yes, you should try it, especially the From Software games. Not entirely sure what that is. Go check it out. Look it up real quick. Or maybe you misspelled. I don't know. Oh, it is. Okay. I guess you did not misspell it. All right. Dark Souls. From Software is a legendary dev. Bloodborne. Okay. All right. Yeah, I've never played Dark Souls or Bloodborne, so I am not familiar with it. Yeah, they made Bloodborne all right, and the Sekiro, and Souls. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I have never played any of those games, so I don't know the developer. So I guess me being a blind player, if I did play those games, yeah, it would be pretty interesting, wouldn't it? I did try the first Dark Souls, like when I was in middle school. Didn't like it though, because I didn't like the gameplay. But I was also a lot less open-minded back then as I am now. So I will look into it. I also kind of want to, if I can, like record playing Halo Reach on the PC, because I did play the living crap out of Halo Reach when I was in middle school. And that is one game I do have on my list for custom game nights when I start doing those too. So yeah. And given how Halo Reach is just coming out on the PC now, yeah, that could do well. All right, got the 7 pieces here. My throat's pretty dry, so I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick. But yeah. Okay, I'm back. We're up to 5 people now. Nice. All the FromSoft games are cosplay hotbeds, especially Dark Souls 3. I have seen some like armor sets from the Dark Souls series, and the amount of detail in those games is pretty insane. So I might do some Dark Souls cosplay at some point, just not anytime soon, because I think I am not skilled enough to do that just yet. Especially since there's a lot of fabric on a lot of those, as far as I know anyway. Oh man, Reach was great. Yeah, it was. Best game in the series, in my opinion. What was the name of that mode? Firefight, I think. Love stacking crazy modifiers on that. Yeah, Firefight was basically just nonstop gun shooting. Survive as long as you can. And yeah, I did occasionally play Firefight too. Most of the time when I was playing Reach, I was playing the campaign, Infection, or my own custom Forge maps with the friends I had at the time. So yeah, that was my experience there. I got to I think I got to like Commander rank 3 or something in Reach, which is just under Colonel, which is just under General. And then you reach all the prestige ranks, quote unquote. I'd be very impressed if you someday made the Great Sword of Artorias. Let me look that up. That's the first one that comes up. Let's see here. That's a big one, isn't it? I think I've seen that before. And given how long it is, I could probably get away with using a wooden dowel instead of a metal rod for the internal support, or maybe a PVC pipe. Great Sword of Artorias. Okay. Well, I actually kind of want to do that. So I'll go ahead and add that to my list. It's not on my phone. It's actually on my desktop upstairs. I'm using my laptop to stream. But yeah, I will add that to the list. My list it's got like 70 something items on it right now. And I have no idea when I will do each one. And about a quarter of them are from Skyrim. So Artorias. Okay. Boom. And I'll add it to the list for real when the stream's over. All right. So I don't really need this anymore. So just set this over here with my other patterns. Okay. I don't need this either. All right. Start making this Elder Scroll now, huh? So it's divided into 7, and I usually start with the bottom and work my way up here. And the only easy piece is this one, just because I usually just take a wooden dowel and call it a day. Yeah, let's start with these. And I also only used to do 1 limb at a time. So I would make 1 limb in its entirety, then I'd start over and do the next one. I think this time I'm going to try and make both of them at the same time. So I'll make 2 of these, and then 2 of these, and then 2 of these, and these, and then. So never tried this before, and I've made, I think, like 7 or 8 Elder Scrolls so far. And all of them I've done with the exact same method, but this time we're going to make 2 limbs at the same time. So we'll do that first. Where's my phone at? It's down here. Got a scrap right here I might be able to use for some of this stuff. Any Fallout stuff in the future? Yes. It looks like my Fallout stuff is the most popular right now, other than I think that one Keyblade I made, the Fabled Glory. Yeah, my Fallout videos have more views than pretty much everything else. So I will definitely do more Fallout stuff in the future. That's for damn sure. As for what's coming next for Fallout, well, I did talk about this in my 700 subscriber special, but I already finished the NCR Ranger, right? So that leaves me with a clean slate for a whole entire cosplay project. And what I'm doing next is the Gannon family Tesla armor, also from Fallout New Vegas, and it's going to have LEDs and everything. And I'm going to be making a pretty big weapon for that too. It's going to be the Sputtlewood 9700, which is a unique Gatling laser, and that too will have LEDs in it. I can actually show you. I'll link a video in the chat to show you guys the video that inspired me to do that. Enclave cosplay. It's by a guy named Dead Exposure F. Really hate it when YouTube does that. Yeah, this one here. So I'll leave a link for that. So yeah, it's going to look something like that. Not the exact same, but something like that. And I think that guy in that video made a plasma rifle for his cosplay. I'm going to be making a Gatling laser. A unique one, that is. Speaking of Keyblades, would you ever attempt the X-Blade? I don't know. Let me look it up. I'm not familiar with Kingdom Hearts either. The only reason I have done Keyblades is because people have commissioned me to do Keyblades. I've made, I think, 4 different Keyblades so far. I've made Fabled Glory, which was actually an original by the client. The Kingdom Key, the Starlight Key, which was the most recent one, and the Fairy Harp, which I have not made a pair of videos on yet. I actually was commissioned by one of my coworkers when I was working a day job at a different place than I am now. And at the time, I didn't have my YouTube channel. So if I ever get commissioned to make the Fairy Harp again, then yeah, I'll make a pair of videos on it too. So X Keyblade. Oh yeah, I mean, look at this guy. So what's it called? The X-Blade. Okay. Whoa. That's a pretty crazy looking weapon. It's got 2 handles or something? Or, oh, okay. So it's basically 2 Kingdom Keys with the blade sticking out of it, and then those branches coming off of it. Interesting. That thing's going to be pretty freaking huge if I make that. Unless it's something. Unless this is not what Unless this is not what you're talking about. It is? Okay, good. You hold the bit where the 2 hilts meet. Yeah, that's what I thought. No, you've got the right thing. Okay, good. Yeah, that. Wow, that's pretty. That is insane. I don't know. That seems like a pretty tall order for me. I mean, it looks doable. It just looks like it'll take forever. I mean, I have to make 2 Kingdom Keys, and then on top of that, the details that are coming off of the hafts, and then the blade coming out of the middle there. Wow, it looks really cool though. It'll also be kind of tricky to make the blue pieces that are coming off of the hafts because they're so thin and skinny. So I'd have to basically cut them out of thin foam and then wrap them in Warbler. And Warbler is not cheap stuff, even though I do get a discount on it. But I will add that to the list. So it's called the X-Blade Kingdom Hearts. But yeah, very neat idea. I like that. It's just going to take forever if I do it. But it could also make for some pretty popular videos too, because I somehow doubt someone else has made a YouTube video on it. In your previous videos, I saw a pattern for the Skyrim Nightingale blade. Did you already make it, or is it in a video for future? Yeah, I still have it actually, because I wanted to make it, but I never got around to it. Yeah, it's over here. Where is it? Where's my pattern at? Here it is. Found it. Just a second. Don't want to tear it. Yeah, I was in a different house at the time, so I had a refrigerator to hang all my patterns on. Now they're just sitting on a pile over on the shelf there, so I'm going to get a whiteboard, a magnetic one at some point. But yeah, I've got the pattern for it right here, and I would really like to make this. I just haven't had the opportunity to do so yet. Although, I am going to be making a Daedric sword, even though I already have one. But I'm going to be making it for two reasons. One, my day job wanted me to make a display for the store, and so I'm going to make a Daedric sword out of for that. And two, I don't have any YouTube videos for it yet, even though I already have one. So I'm going to basically kill 3 birds with one stone. One, because I also want to remake the one I already have, because the one I already have is a piece of junk. But yeah, that's coming soon. I don't know when I'm going to do the Nightingale Blade, but I really want to. Hi, Eve. How's it going? Mesothelioma. You should make the Medigun from TF2. I think someone suggested that, actually. It might have been you. It might have been someone else. But yeah, I might do that. I haven't played Team Fortress 2 myself. But if I do make something from that game, it was... Yeah, I knew it. That's what I thought. If I do make something from that game, it'll be the Medigun. Actually, I'll go ahead and add that to the list, too. It's the original key to Kingdom Hearts itself, upon which to call others were based. Some say Kai, but the meaning is the same. Death. How poetic. So what's the Medigun? I think that like shoots syringes or something, right? And it looks almost kind of like the portal gun, and also kind of like the thing that Mega Man uses to transfer. I can't remember his name, but the powers of the other hero guy. TF2. Okay. I could be wrong about that. We're up to 7 viewers. Can we break the record? Because the record's 8 right now. All right. Let's get back to making the scroll, huh? So yeah, the 7 pieces here, and then there's that one. Let me get my phone now. I have 2 rolls, right? Yeah, it's beneath my paper. Oh, now we're at 8. Can we beat the record? Can we get up to 9 views or viewers? I sure hope so. Okay, let's cut this up now. Where's my Sharpie? Here it is. Oh, we went down to 7. Okay. Can I fit 2 of these? Yes, but it takes. I think a single one of these is 3 layers thick, so I need to do 6 of them on this axis here. Okay. Titan was his name, or Metro Man. Yeah, Metro Man. That's the one I was talking about. If I meant the hero, yeah. I meant to say it looks like that the Mega Mind's gun that he uses to transfer the powers of those guys. But yeah, at least that's what I think it looks like. I haven't looked at it in a while. Okay, so I guess we'll just cut this down here or something. Yeah. Hello, Shadow Crow. How's it going, man? We're up to 8 again. Can we get up to 9 views? That would be awesome. 8 is the current record right now. Hello there, good. Hey, Crow. Yeah, so I'm working on an Elder Scroll right now for a client. So I just started because in the first like hour and a half of this stream, I was working on a stand for a client, a wooden one, and it's the varnish for it is drying right now. So yeah, let's cut this guy up, shall we? Now this ain't going to be perfect, but I got to make do. Oh, we're up to 9 views. Yay. Sweet. Record beaten. Yep. Can we boot it up to 10? The more the merrier, right? Okay. Boom. You are a bold one. Yes. How do you make the patterns you have? I make them in Adobe Illustrator. So what I do, here, one second. What I have is I have a monthly subscription for Adobe Creative Cloud. And it's like, I think it's 50 a month unless you're a college student, in which case you get a discount to make it, I think 30 a month. And when you get that subscription, you basically get unlimited access to all of Adobe software. So you don't have to pay hundreds of dollars to get a Photoshop license. So, and yeah, I use Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, and Premiere on a daily basis. Well, not a daily basis, but often. And Illustrator is the program I use for making my patterns. So what I do is, unless I happen to own the game, I take a screenshot or just a picture off the internet that is as two-dimensional as it gets, and then just scale the picture to the right size that I want it, and then just trace it with the pen tool, and then print it out. Just like that. Welcome to the add as many entries of the future project list as we can stream. Yeah. Oh, you guys have added 3 so far, and my list is just under 80 right now. So I was given $10 and told to raid? ? What's President Obama doing here? I was also told to raid. He seems too nice to raid. Might just stick around and watch. Yeah, he seems pretty cool. He is cool. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. You guys are all very cool too. In my case, I try. I'm also really lame. Just watch any of my videos and you'll understand. Okay. All right, back to work, huh? So, gotta cut this up. So what I do for the Elder Scrolls here is I cut them into squares first. That's a little too long, actually. But yeah, I cut them into squares, and then I glue the squares together, and then I make a circle out of them with my bandsaw. We had 10 for a few seconds. Oh, we did? Nice. I'll take your word for it. I wasn't looking. I need to sleep, but you just earned a new subscriber, my dude. Hey, welcome to the family. You're going to be in this for the long haul, man. I'll get the champagne. That's great. I don't live in France. I live in the United States. But yeah, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate it. You're welcome to join the Discord server, too. We exchange our cosplay knowledge there. And I also do a pun of the day thing. So there's always something new. Okay, let's get this over here. So how big is, I'm going to do this in metric units. It's 11 centimeters. Okay. So that's 11, and this is 14 right here. And then I'm not going to cut along this line because it's going to leave this strip hanging like that. But I will cut right there. So. Okay, here we go. Nice. So a celebratory keg of cheap beer then? I'll buy the expensive stuff. You guys are great. Okay, this is all bendy from being in a roll like that, because that's how they ship it to you. But no big deal. So let's cut this. So let's finish the squares on this side. So we need 6 squares because there are 2 limbs. So therefore, of this right here, and this is 3 layers thick. So you need 6 squares. And so I'll cut them up, then I'll glue them all together. And once they're glued, then I'll take it to the bandsaw and cut them to shape, both into a circle and into a truncated cone. Now, the first time I made an Elder Scroll, we're up to 10 now. The first time I made an Elder Scroll, I had to cut everything with this thing. I didn't have a bandsaw at the time. So that made cutting the really, really thick pieces, like the second part right here. And this is the 4-foot Elder Scroll. The one I made the first time was 5 feet long. That made that exceptionally difficult. And I had to do the really thick parts into 2 pieces. So I had to cut them up into layers of 3 and 4, and then cut those into a shape of a truncated cone with this thing. And that took forever, and they were not even when I did that. So having the bandsaw is super, super, super helpful for cutting truncated cones of solid foam like this. So yeah. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. All right, and while the glue on these is drying, I'll probably go ahead and start eyeing up this. And I think this one is 6 layers thick in a 4-foot scroll. Yeah, this one's 6 layers. Okay, so I'm going to get the glue for these guys. And I want 3 of each. Okay. And you can only glue 2 pieces at a time. Can we get up to 11? We're sitting at 10 right now. But yeah, let's glue these guys together. Where do you get the foam you work with? I get it from TNT Cosplay Supply. I will go ahead and leave a link for you in the chat. I've been working with them for pretty much my entire cosplay career, so 3 years, and they have never disappointed me. And oftentimes they ship things to you, and the package arrives sooner than they say they do. And they even featured my content on their Facebook page a few times. So yeah, they're good guys. I highly recommend it. So here is the link right here. Come on. Yeah, I get my phone from those guys. Highly recommend. If you live in the UK or anywhere in Europe for that matter, then you can get it from Polyprops. I don't have any experience with them because I live in the United States. So, but it's probably a heck of a lot cheaper to get it from them if you're living in Europe. Anyway, let's get the glue on these guys. 11, yay! Let's keep breaking the record. The record was 8, now it's 11. Can we get up to 12 viewers, please? Maybe 20. You're welcome, Gothic Wolf. Happy to help. Eventually, I'm going to try and get those guys to sponsor my videos. And if I do that, then you guys might be able to get a discount through them. That's not going to happen for a while. 12 views, yay! It's not going to happen for a while, though. I have to really get the subscribers to do that. So, but yeah. Monetization, here we come. Yes, exactly. Because I have the subscribers, I just don't have the hours yet. You need 4,000 hours, and I'm at about 1,200 right now, last time I checked. So, but that was significantly increased after I started streaming, and also after the deal with Shadiversity went through. So, yeah, it's going to start happening pretty soon, hopefully. Yeah, we were at 12 for a minute there. I think something from Elder Scrolls. Yeah. Did JRM ask something? I missed. Oh, what is this going to be? Yeah, I did miss it. This is going to be an Elder Scroll. I do have a pair of videos of this on my YouTube channel already. So this is the first part of the limb right here. And then here's part 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, I got to make 2 of these, and then I have to make the middle like cylinder. Hello, Belloc the Mighty. How you doing? It's been a while. How you doing, man? Not too bad. I'm working on an Elder Scroll right now. On a bit of a time crunch. I need to finish this thing by the 19th. But given as how I've made this thing like literally 8 times, it shouldn't take a whole lot of time to make. Especially now that I've changed up my strategy and I'm doing 2 limbs at a time instead of just 1. But yeah, I've been great. I guess I don't really need to start working on the second piece for these to dry because this dries way too fast. But yeah, all right, let's get this other one on here. We were up 12 for a minute there. That's great. That's the new record. Yeah, right now I'm stacking these layers up and going together. So I cut them into squares so that I can, when I take it to the bandsaw and cut them into circles, they're flush. Because if I cut them all into circles here and then sand them with the Dremel, then they can be flush, but they're not even like I want it to be. So yeah, this is the best strategy in my opinion. Okay, let's set those guys aside and then do these 3. What kind of adhesive is that? This is contact cement. It's this stuff right here. Very, very, very good for cosplay purposes. Just don't use it on styrofoam or insulation foam because it'll corrode it. In fact, I'll go ahead and show you. I've got some spheres here that I pretty much never use. This is styrofoam, and you can tell because it's really solid, whereas this is flexible. This is EVA foam. But barge cement or contact cement will corrode it. Watch. It takes a minute, but if you look closely, you can see it. See, it's bubbling a little bit. Yeah. So when you're working with styrofoam or insulation foam, you're going to have to use wood glue or hot glue. Hot glue is nice because it's fast and easy, but the bond it makes is also terrible. So, and wood glue, the bond it makes is strong. It's just that you have to wait forever for it to dry. Whereas contact cement, which is what I'm using, dries in a matter of seconds, or minutes, if not seconds, is what I meant to say. And it does not corrode EVA foam, which is what I use. And you can get this stuff in all sorts of ways. Now, this is a glue pot that you have to, I couldn't find any retailers that carry this, so I just had to get it through Amazon. But contact cement, just about any hardware retailer sells it. So, yeah. You can also get them in little glass jars for like $3. And that's what I started with. I moved away from those, though, because not only so there were two problems with the glass jars. One, they were like really tiny ones, but the brushes that came with them detached from the lids only 6 times after using them, and you have to reinstall the lid every single time you use it, and it's really annoying. And two, the glue actually dries up on you once you've used about 2/3 of it, so you've essentially wasted an entire 33% of that glue. And so that's when I decided to move on to using the cans, which is what I have here instead. These are about $12 US. But totally worth it because it gives you more of your money's worth, and you can put it in a glue pot. Barge OP, yes, indeed. I use that stuff all the time. I didn't recognize that container. Yeah, this is a glue pot. It's like $45 US for one of these. Definitely worth the investment though, because I use it pretty much every single time I make something. So yeah. If there are two more or less expensive investments you have to make into cosplay, the most worthwhile ones are definitely the glue pot and the rotary tool, the Dremel. Barge doesn't work great on the plastic I'm using. Well, that depends on the plastic. If it's a polyethylene, which is pretty much all the plastics used on manufactured containers, like say detergent containers, then yeah, it's because polyethylene is a chemically resistant plastic, and it doesn't stick to anything. And the only way for you to get it to stick to something is to literally weld it to it. And even that doesn't work very well unless you're welding polyethylene to polyethylene. So I have mine in some ketchup bottles. Yeah, well, ketchup bottles are made of polyethylene, so it's good for storing glue, but it's not good for adhering. So as opposed to say like Warbler, which I have tons of right here, this stuff works with contact cement really well. You just have to use it a little differently. So what I do with Warbler, if I need to glue it to foam, instead of putting contact cement on both sides, I put a thick layer of contact cement on the foam, and while it's still wet, I give the Warbler some heat and then just push it on there, and that glues it pretty much as good as it gets. So yeah. What's so great about a glue pot? Well, first of all, the cans that you get here, these do not come with brushes. So in order for you to use the cans, you have to use disposable brushes or some other way to spread it around. But the problem with that is that, yeah, disposable brushes are like 50 cents a piece, and they become pretty much worthless every time you adhere something. And if you do a lot of cosplay, then that can add up. So basically, getting one of these bites the bullet for you in the short term, but it gives you a lot more of your money's worth in the long run. Plus, these guys have a vapor lock, so every time you close the lid and put the brush back in, the glue does not dry on you. And like I mentioned before, the glass jars of contact cement do dry up on you after you've used about 60% of it. So yeah. Anyway, oh, I need to put these together now. Try to make the corners flush so that you don't leave a spot uncut after you actually cut it into a circle. So the little glass jars, they do come with brushes. It's just the brushes keep detaching. I've had this thing for 2.5 years, and the brush has never detached or malfunctioned on me once. This is still the same glue pot I've been using ever since I got it. So there's that. Very long lasting. Yeah, glue pots don't seem super useful at first glance, but when you really think about it, then it's like the best thing ever. And yeah, I was pretty skeptical about getting a glue pot at first too, which is why I didn't bother getting one like really early on. I got my Dremel before I got my glue pot, but I learned about all the negative factors that come into play when you use the glass jars, or if you use the big cans and disposable brushes. So yeah. This is the most economical way, even though it does cost $45 to get. At least it's the most economical in the long run, anyway. Oh, that does sound pretty neat. The disposable brush thing was super annoying. Yes, it was. I agree. So I've gotten into using leftover bits of foam as faux brushes. Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah, that actually works just fine if you want to do it like that. You will find though that the brush on this holds a lot more like volume. So if you need to glue like really big surfaces, which I have to do sometimes, then being able to have a brush that holds a lot of glue is really nice. Do you watch other cosplay crafters on YouTube like Punish Props, Ted SKS Props? Yes, I watch all 3 of those, and I also watch Kamui Cosplay. Yep. In fact, my Peacekeeper here, I basically copied Evil Ted's version of this, except this is the Mystery Man version. He made the original one. I pretty much copied the exact same way he did everything to make this, and this was my very first prop. So, yeah. But yeah, I do watch all of those, and if you join my Discord server, you will see that I programmed the bot Me6 to automatically update the members of the server whenever any of those 3 and Kamui Cosplay upload a video. So, yep. The goal is to eventually surpass pretty much all of them in subscriber count. I think Punish Props has the most right now at about 500,000. Kamui's at 300, and Evil Ted's at like 200 right now. But yeah, that's the goal right now. All right, so these pieces are glued together. Now I just got to do the circles. I got my compass here. Yeah, here's my compass. The obvious answer is buy her books. Yeah, I actually have all of her books, and I'm actually using them as a resource for something I'm working on. And it's going to be quite some time before I actually announce what that thing is. But yeah, eventually. Oh, that's the wrong end. No, it needs to be the pencil end that I need to take off. But yeah, I have all those books, and I did actually originally get those to help me learn how to sew, because I for my NCR Ranger cosplay, I wanted to actually make the duster instead of buy it, even though there is one on Etsy that's really, really good. Yeah, I really don't like buying things unless I have no other option, like say for jeans. But jeans are mass produced, whereas like the duster is not necessarily mass produced. So I don't really feel super like as much of a sellout, I guess, to be frank, if I buy jeans. But if it's something more exquisite like that, then I want to make it myself. So yeah, I use Kami Cosplay's books to help me figure out how to sew, and with the sewing machine and all that. We'll get you to #1 cosplay prop maker someday. Hell yes. Hell yes. That'd be a dream come true right there. And I think we have a bit of an edge because I don't know. if I told you what it was, then that would make me look like a jerk. So yeah, I'm not gonna say it. Anyway, let's put the compass together. So this is what I usually use. I do have a big circle template over here, or like not a template, but a stencil. I don't think this one is even the big one is big enough for what I need. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to use a compass for this. Where's my Sharpie? Here it is. So yeah, let's draw the circles on this guy, and then we'll cut it to shape. Curiosity is rising. Yeah, well, I will tell you about it in due time. In due time. Where's my template? Here it is. So right smack in the middle, and then extend this out to the edge. How long have we been streaming for? Almost 2 hours. Yeah. You'll know it when you see it. Don't worry. Yeah, got to test to make sure I'm in the right playing field here. All right, right there. It looks good. Okay, let's do the other one. Now this is the flush edge, so I want to try and touch these corners or edge as close as I can. All right, perfect. Got it. All right, now I got to cut these on the bandsaw. But I guess that can wait. I got these stacked up, so I want them to cure before I actually cut them, because I have made Elder Scrolls in the past, and I cut them with the bandsaw, and they actually peeled apart a little bit. So I'm going to actually let these sit overnight. We're up to 11. Can we beat our record of 12? Because we were at 12 not too long ago. Can we get up to 13, please? Okay. So that's piece number 1. Set that aside. Now let's work on piece number 2. Now I don't think this is small enough for it to fit in this template. Yeah, it's just a little too big. This side works though. I can do this side in this circle here, but we'll get to that later. So this one is 6 layers thick, so I got to cut a total of 12 of these guys. That's gonna be fun. Yeah, almost 2 hours. Wow. Okay, let's get my phone. I want to get my Dremel cord out of the way. Don't want to be tripping on that. Okay, is this a clean cut edge? Kinda, not particularly. Do want to unroll this as much as I can, though. Okay, yeah, this is the factory edge right here, but it's I'll just cut it. I'll just trim it a little bit, and then we'll use this as the edge for the second piece. That's what I like to see. Okay, good. Also, this end flared out a little bit. But yeah, you can see the damage that the contact cement made to this sphere. It's not perfect anymore, like it was on this side. So yeah, don't use it on insulation or styrofoam. Only EVA foam works, as far as I know anyway. I don't know if it corrodes like X30 expanding foam or anything, but yeah. All right, so I think my method was I just kind of go across the edge here. So let's get this thing out of the compass. Okay, now I need a total of 12 of these. So I don't know how many I'll get out of this 2-foot side. Maybe 6 or 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 6. Perfect. So I just need to do this again. I'm gonna try and make this as parallel as or perpendicular as I can. Okay. Then I could just connect these with the ruler and do it again. Okay, cool. Let's do another one. Oh, I guess I can just do this. You can't see. Here we go. No, yeah, let's do it like this, actually. Now, these I want to make parallel. Nice. And connect these. All right, little imperfection here, but that's okay. We'll make do. Okay, so that's the entire second piece on both limbs. Yeah, I think doing 2 limbs at a time is probably the better way to do it instead of 1 at a time. And that was a pretty dreaded feeling of having to make a second limb when I first made an Elder Scroll, because when I first made it, I had to cut everything with this box knife I'm using right now. I didn't have a bandsaw at the time, so it was tough, especially for the thick pieces like the one I'm doing right now. Okay, so let's uncurve this guy. And then we'll cut this down the middle. It's flared out a little here. That's annoying. Oh well. I'll make do. Okay, flip it around. Cool. Let's cut in half. Now let's dissect this into 6s. I can't believe the previous rec was 8, and we're just sitting right above 8 right now. That's insane. But I guess having those extra 2,000 subs helps with that. Thanks, Shad. Appreciate it. All right, let's do this other one. I have to wake up early, but these stand are too enjoyable. Hey, you know what? If you got something else that you need to prioritize, then do that, okay? If you really need to go to sleep right now, then go to sleep right now, okay? Don't let me hold you back. I appreciate your kind words, though. Thanks. Whew. Okay. All right. 12 pieces. This is scrapped right here. I don't need this right now. Okay. There's 6 here and 6 here. Now I got to glue them all together. Yeah. All right, 2 at a time, I guess. Just like old times. You could make a cosplay ASMR. What's ASMR? Someone else. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Someone's gonna have to spell it out for me. Too long, didn't we? People using hypersensitive microphone settings that make some people tingly. Oh, okay. Hey, unwanted commentary. What's up? Usually people whispering into a mic and whatnot. Will there be a Puntastic Starlight video? Yes, that's what's coming next, most likely. 11 videos. Oh, Eve, you know Coco? Oh, yeah, of course you know Coco. I should have known that. In a non-sexual way? Okay. It sounds pretty sexual to me. Apparently my server wanted to raid your stream. Well, that's okay with me. I don't care. I'm just making an Elder Scroll, and some people are watching. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't either. It sounds pretty sexual to me, or at least weird. I mean, I am weird, but not that weird. Maybe I'll do it as like an April Fool's joke or something. Even though April was just a few months ago. All right, that's 2 pieces. 10 more to go. Ay, ay, ay. I love making Elder Scrolls. They just take way too long. Obama almost rated this earlier. Yeah, he did. Sure did. Fun stuff. I recommend these to further your crafts. Shit. Okay. Odin makes. I do know Odin makes. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of that. Just so I know to look it up later. All right. All the brushing would set off ASMR tingles for a lot of people. Okay. Odin hasn't uploaded anything in a couple months. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I have seen some of his stuff. And it wasn't really because I wanted to, but I wanted to see like how he got his videos to be so popular. I think his most popular one is his Infinity Gauntlet video. It's like sitting at 7 million views right now. That doesn't surprise me. Wait a second. When did you hit 2.2K subs? Kokyo, I will link you the video that did that. Just a second. Yeah, Shadowversity did a shout out, but I'll go ahead and send the link anyway. So yeah, I went from 800 subscribers to 2.2K, almost tripling it, effectively tripling it. Oh yeah, here it is. Sorry, let me grab it.
Before we begin, it is
no, not that one. This one here. Here we go.
This episode of Shadow.
So yeah, Coco. Here you go. Yeah, the deal was made a long time ago, but he didn't fulfill his end until just a few days ago. So yeah, that video right there, skip to about 1:30. That's where he gives me the shout out. So yeah. I thought that, yeah, okay. Anyway, let's glue these 2 pieces together. So yeah, I reached out to him, I think like 8 or 9 months ago, and I didn't have a 3D printer at the time, so I had to save up for it. It cost like $400. And then I made the Imperious sword, and I uploaded the 2 videos on it like about 5 months ago, and Shad decided to show that to his. Oh, we're at 12. Can we hit 13? Yeah. So he did a community post. That's how the time lapse has 13,000 views. I mean, it got 11,000, and now it's at 13,000, having done the shout out recently. And yeah, that was back in like December. And so it's July now, so 7 months later, and he finally uploads his video giving me the shout out. But that's because he wanted to upload it during the same time when he publishes his book, which I will really like to read when I can get my hands on a copy of it. But yeah, so that's how I'm up there. Fun stuff. And yeah, there's the rare few like Eve who found me through Twitter. I don't use I like Twitter's probably my least active one right now, even though I really should be more active on it. But yeah, I just keep forgetting about it because I haven't used Twitter a whole lot throughout my life. So pretty sure I tweeted that. Yeah, maybe. I think I did catch you tweeting some things that I've made before and putting Reddit posts too, which I appreciate, by the way. Thanks. But yeah, felt the effects of the deal finally. And now my subscriber count tripled. So yeah, awesome stuff. We're at 12 again. Can we get up to 13? But anyway. So yeah, 2.2 thousand. It's pretty crazy. Of course, it's not like career driving. I'm here thanks to Shad, that amazing Imperious. Hell yes, man. Yeah, I had a lot of fun making that. 3D printing it was pretty anxious. You might have heard me mention in the video. The print job took about 11 hours to print, and I was literally sitting next to it the entire 11 hours it was printing. So yeah, it was because I was so anxious that it would screw up during the print, because I know that that happens a lot in 3D printing. And the only reason I needed to 3D print it is because if I tried to make it out of any other material like foam, it wouldn't have held up very well. So it needed to be plastic. You should take 2 cans for streams. I do have an integrated webcam on my laptop, but it's actually worse than the webcam I'm using right now. I do have my digital camera as well, but I have to use that for recording, whatever it is I'm making for the YouTube videos. So I do want to get an additional camera at some point, though. And when I do, I will use the digital camera I have for recording streams, and then maybe the webcam for other angles. You should put a picture of what you were doing to build in the corner. Yeah, I think I will. I think I can edit the thumbnails for streams. It's just that I have to basically take a picture of myself and upload that as the thumbnail, and until I replace it with something else. I'm still pretty new to this. This is like the 4th time I've done it. So using OBS Studio? No, I'm just using. Well, Coco's a YouTuber as well, so yeah. I've had experience with OBS before for like recording my screen. Didn't turn out super well, so I have a pretty tainted like impression of it. But if you guys are recommending it, then I'll try it again. Usually, what I use with the software I use to record my screen when I need to do that. I don't have to do it very often, but sometimes I do. I use NVIDIA Shadowplay for that. I think if I put a picture, people will be less confused. Yeah, you're probably right. So I should probably go. I think I will, now that you mention it, go back and edit all the thumbnails, and yeah, put an object in the corner to show you what I'm doing. So timestamp. How long have you been working? I've been streaming for about 2 hours. It's in the bottom. It's in the top right corner. So. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Well, I mean, nobody's donated yet. I mean, I have people on Patreon, but nobody has like done a super chat or anything yet, and I don't really expect that. I'm pretty small right now, so. But yeah. You watched Draw with Jazz's 3D print of chainmail video. I did watch that. It was pretty good. I love that. I am a patron. Yes, I know you are. Yeah. And I appreciate your generosity very much. But I sort of figured that for like on-screen gestures for donations and whatnot, that would be for like super chats and whatnot. And well, I'm still really new to streaming, so I haven't really figured out how to do overlays or anything like that yet. That'll change though at some point, but yeah, that's how it is for the time being. I've had this webcam for like like 4 years, and I've never really used it that much. I did use it for like my personal channel when I was in high school. That's about it. But now I actually have a use for it, which is nice, even though it's not the best camera in the world. I'll become a portion in 2 years when I get done with college, or patron. Yeah, I would love that. That would be awesome, man. You need to be monetized for super. Oh, okay. That I did not know. We also need to stuff through Streamlabs. Streamlabs? Can you elaborate on that? All right, that's another one. You got 4 more to do. So is it like its own program or something? Kind of like bots in Discord? There are videos on it. Basically, people donate and it goes straight to PayPal. Oh, okay. All right. So it's called Streamlabs, huh? I'm going to take a picture of that just so I know. That is very good to know, though. Thanks. I should be monetizing my content soon. I just need the watch hours, which is one of the reasons I'm doing the streams. Because especially if like 9 people are watching and they watch for an hour straight, that's 9 hours right there. So, yeah. Although it probably won't happen until I get a video to go viral. like get hundreds of thousands of views. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I'm pushing for it. I'll send you the info on the other server if you're going to stream more. Yeah, I am going to stream more. I stream every Sunday. I started 4 weeks ago. This is my 4th one. Watch hours are dumb. Yes, they are. The other prerequisite was 1,000 subscribers, and I have that. I have 2,000 now. So if it weren't for the watch hours, I'd be monetizing already. Stupid YouTube. Yeah, they do get laughs every 365 days. And I've already been on YouTube for over a year. My first video was published on, like, I think June 28th or something last year. That was the Omni Wrench time lapse. And that one's sitting at about 1,500 views, I think. So not my most popular video by any means, but it's one of my it's in the top 50%. Yeah, there's a few new things like mini web apps you can use in OBS to show new supporters, followers. Okay. Do a Halo Infinite. Oh, I will. I will definitely do that. And 12 again. I personally loved it. Yeah. Halo Infinite actually looks really promising. And part of the reason I say that is because in the trailer they actually used Reach's Halo assault rifle, or not Halo, but assault rifle design. If you look closely at it when the Master Chief is gearing up, and also the sound effect that plays when his shields recharge are the sound effects you hear in Reach. So just the little tiny things like that are just great. And it seems like 343 is finally like listening to their audience and going back to the roots more or less. And you know, they played the original soundtrack music at the near end of it. So, and the Chief feels like a chief now. So yeah. How observant they freaking, yeah, I ought to be, right? So yeah, the little things like that with the sound effect of the shield recharging is what got me the most, I think, when I watched that. And the character development too, like in Halo 5, the characters are all cardboard cutouts. Like none of them have a specific purpose to be there, except for like one role that kind of just flies over your head. But even in that one trailer for Halo Infinite, that one character who's not Master Chief, I can't remember what his name is, he has more character development and personality than pretty much anyone in Halo 5. So yeah, it looks very promising. That's literally a line from my, what is? What did I say? They have no purpose to be there? They're all cardboard cutouts? Or also, weren't you going to do a collab with another YouTuber? Oh yeah, the Marina's more character. Yeah. I'll have to do some Beat Saber before I head to sleep, kick some booty and on whatnot. Yeah, I love Beat Saber. It's a fun game. And I might make some gameplay footage of it because I have been doing a little bit of practice on the Expert Plus levels. And I've managed to do Escape once perfectly on Expert Plus, and that's it. So yeah. I need to make a YouTuber account. Yeah, go for it. It's pretty difficult at first. But once you get the snowball effect rolling, then it's a cakewalk from there. Oh, I still am just okay. Fair enough. Careful about those. The unofficial songs are demonetization bait. Yeah, I'm not super concerned about the demonetization stuff because YouTube ad revenue is actually like the least effective way to make money through YouTube, if you can believe that. Yeah, it's going to be a nomism propaganda account. Good night, Eve. Good to have you on the stream. Cheers. Night, guys. Been streaming for a little over 2 hours now. I do have to work tomorrow, so I have to stop the stream at probably 3 hours. All right, so that's another piece. One more. Oh no, 2 more. I still have to glue this together. Who knew doing live streams would be so enjoyable? Like I've always wanted to do it, but I had no idea it was so much fun, even if only 9 people are watching. Let alone like hundreds at the same time. So yeah, they are fun. I agree, Coco. Do you plan to do any full armor sets or builds? I don't know if you watched my 700 sub special or not, but yes, I do. I made the NCR Ranger Combat armor. That was my most recent cosplay. I've already made a set of Daedric armor from Skyrim, and my very first cosplay was McCree from Overwatch. So my next one is the Gannon family Tesla armor from Fallout New Vegas. It's just a suit of power armor with a lot of LED doodads on it. So that's what's next as far as my armor projects go. So yes, absolutely. I remember when my live stream audience went from like 10 to 50. Oh, wow. Well, you have like, what, 13,000 subs right now? So that doesn't surprise me a whole lot. All right, that's that piece. Gotta glue 2 more. And then I have to, then I've got to glue 3 of these again. We'll do any anime builds. I saw it, but I'll go ahead and answer your question anyway. I did make Heirs of Scarlet Sword from Fairy Tail, but I don't know. I'm not super like into anime, but I might, especially if like a really super popular anime comes out and does really well miraculously. Heirs of Bay, yeah. Oh, I do want to. Will you do any anime builds? So, do any of you guys watch? I don't watch a whole lot of anime, but do any of you guys watch RWBY? Because for a long time, I've been wanting to make the Crescent Rose that is carried by, I can't remember her name, but the most iconic character in that anime. But the anime is RWBY, but I want to make the Crescent Rose. It's like a 6-foot-long what's the word? Scythe. Yeah, just ruby. That's what I thought. But yeah, I would like to make a life-size version of that at some point. It's gonna be tough, and I have actually seen some mass-produced ones that were like this big, like just a couple feet long, and apparently they do really popular in the store that sells them. So I think if I made the Crescent Rose 6 feet long or 2 meters, then that would be pretty crazy. I don't know if I'm going to do like any full cosplays from any anime. At least I don't have any plans for it right now. But if I see something that catches my eye, then I might. But for now, it's my main focus is on video games and whatnot. I do really want to make a Spartan suit from Halo, and specifically my Spartan armor as my character from Halo Reach. I think he had like the JFO helmet, the security shoulder pad with the big knife on it, and on the left shoulder the commando shoulder pad. So yeah, good stuff. I have no idea how I'm going to make the visor though, so I'll have to figure that out eventually. But yeah. Ruby. That's also how you typically pronounce the name of the show. Ruby? Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Instead of, because it's, RWBY, but you can just replace the W with a U. Yeah. You should check out the Goblin Slayer armor. I have seen some episodes of Goblin Slayer because I actually saw Shadowversity make a video on it because of how controversial it was, apparently, because a goblin like rapes somebody or something. So I did, out of curiosity, watch a few episodes of that. And yeah, the Goblin Slayer armor looks pretty sick. And I've actually seen some YouTubers make it. So she made something from 7 Deadly Sins, Goblin Slayer. Yeah. So I don't know if I'll do the Goblin Slayer armor. I might. I don't really have any plans for it. 7 Deadly Sins. I will check that out real quick. Well, and that's an anime, right? Yeah, that's an anime. Oh, it's not as dark as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to look like Death Note, but it looks like Pokemon. Okay, yeah. I could see myself dressing as some of these characters. I generally don't like wearing things that are revealing. It's just not my thing. Like somebody shirtless or wearing something like a V-line. That's just not my thing. I like looking epic or dark. But yeah, I suppose it's possible. Anyway. Okay, let's glue this back together. Got one last pair of pieces to put together. And then I gotta glue the stacks of 2 together into stacks of 6. So yeah, fun stuff. And this is only piece number 2. There are 5 more. Although one of them is a wooden dowel, and the other one is not like this. It's not big, but whatever. I've made 7 or 8 of these. Making another one's no big deal. Okay, looking good. So we got these all stacked up. So those are in pairs of 2. These are in pairs of 2. Now I've got to glue these 3 and these 3 together. Okay. Adjust this so you can see a little better. There we go. At least you have us to make this less tedious. Yeah. Because usually when I'm working on commissions, I'm just listening to music. And sometimes I get bored of that, even if it's music I really like. So yeah, having something new is really nice. Yeah, definitely the Elder Scrolls are the most tedious props I've made so far, just because it's all solid foam with a lot of gluing together. And that's also part of the reason why I charge so much for them, is because they just take forever to make. And they're tricky too, especially in fact, the trickiest part is probably the final assembly, where I've got the 2 limbs and I've got the middle, and I have to put them together while at the same time putting the window shade in the mounting hardware and having the shade slip through the slit in the PVC pipe. In fact, the first time I had to cut the PVC pipe, or the slit in a PVC pipe. So I have this pipe here, right? And this is going to serve as the middle. This one's 6 feet long, so I have to trim it. But I basically have to cut a little slit out for the paper to fit through. And the first like 8 times or like 5 or 6 times I did it, I had to do it with a hacksaw. And oh my God, that took forever. Now I've got a table saw, so I could just do it with that, and it goes a lot faster. But yeah. And it's pretty much the only thing I use the table saw for, is for cutting the PVC pipes. But eventually I want to start working more with acrylic, like for making scabbards. And yeah, making scabbards out of acrylic is pretty good. So anyway, let's glue these together. All right. Naruto and Naruto Shippuden are also good animes to watch and could give you some ideas for things to make. Okay. I have actually, so the convention I regularly go to, SakuraCon in Seattle, is actually an anime convention. And the only reason I go to it is because I had a group of friends who went to it at the time, when I first went to it. And yeah, I see a lot of people cosplaying as characters from that anime, Naruto, One Piece, and whatnot. Even some Dragon Ball, even though I've never seen any of those. I have seen a little bit of ReZero too, cosplays, and then a whole bunch that I didn't recognize, because yeah, I don't watch a whole lot of it. And some Ghibli stuff too. I've seen some Princess Mononoke's. I've seen some Nausicaa's. Yeah. All right, that's good. Let's get one more on here. Soul Eater as well. Okay. Soul Eater. Let me look that up. I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, so the only anime that I have seen are pretty much nothing but Ghibli stuff. And I've seen some other things. I have seen Death Note. I have seen Erased. And I have seen some more obscure ones, like To the Forest of the Firefly Lights. But yeah, for the most part, I have not seen any of the really popular ones, like Attack on Titan or Dragon Ball. Yeah, Death Note was pretty good. I watched it from start to finish. Although after a certain character died, it kind of dumbed down a little bit. Oh yeah, I see a lot of Tokyo Ghoul cosplays at that convention as well. No, I have not seen that anime either. Okay. A lot of female characters in this, as far as I can tell, anyway. Oh, that looks interesting. The almost like a Reaper mask. Death. That's the guy's name. Okay. Yeah, very nice. Also, check out Raven Black Mormon armor and the Perfect Warrior armor from Overlord. Overlord? Okay. I'll look at that in a minute. I want to glue these together real quick. That's a lot of suggestions, guys. I'm not complaining, though. Tigran and Darker Than Black are good ones, too. Yeah. Don't expect me to watch all of those, guys, because I just don't have time to watch anime. Not because I don't have time necessarily. It's just because I choose to use my free time for cosplay and pretty much nothing else. So, yeah. if I did less cosplay and watched more, then I could probably watch all those. But I'm not going to do that, most likely. Maybe Kill La Kill. I have seen the main character. That's a really skimpy outfit, if you ask me. But yeah. It's also no. You should be careful with that one. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, given what the main character dresses like, then yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Okay. Yeah, the Ghibli movies. I haven't seen all the Ghibli movies. I've seen Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind. I've seen Princess Mononoke, Totoro. Um, sorry, I'm sandwiching these together. Grave of the Fireflies, probably. That's one of my favorite ones, I think. Secret World of Ariete. That one is my favorite one. Not as I don't think it's as popular as the more well-known ones are, though. Tales from Earthsea. Out of all the ones I've seen, that one's probably my least favorite. Ocean Waves. I have not seen Ponyo, though, surprisingly. I know people really like Ponyo, but I haven't seen it yet. And surprisingly, My Neighbor Totoro is not like outstanding either. Like the only thing that makes it unique is the Totoro himself. The story is not very interesting, though. It's kind of boring in my opinion. It's cute, though. I'll give it that. Princess Mononoke is just a cocaine binge. I like it, though. It's very good. But the OG of anime armors is Berserk. Somebody asked me to. I don't know if it was. I don't think that was you, but somebody in the comments in another video asked me to make Gus's sword from Berserk. I do know what that is, and that thing's basically Cloud's sword on steroids. So I might make it, and I might not. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. If you want a good anime style film, check out Garden Awards and Your Name. Okay. I'm gonna have to just scroll through this chat again when I play back the video, just so I can understand what you guys are saying. Just so I can look up the animes you guys are talking about. In Ponyo, I had to turn on the subtitles because I legitimately thought a shot said the word up. Oh, that's great. Were you watching? So, okay. Were you watching it in with English voices when you had to do that, or? Because I pretty much never watch it in English voices. The only time I did was Mary and the Witch's Flower, which actually came out I think February last year, and it was made by the same guys who used to work at Ghibli. And the only reason I like to watch that in English instead of Japanese is because the anime takes place in England, so it makes sense. Akame ga Kill has some cool weapons in it too. Akame ga Kill? Yeah, I'm dubs all the way. Yeah. Akame ga Kill. Let me look that up real quick. This stream is all about just people recommending anime to me. Because how often do you get to meet someone who hasn't watched a whole lot of it and is open to suggestions about it? Okay, a lot of pictures of a female character. Is that a oh, okay. That's a pretty cool looking weapon right there. That katana. It almost kind of looks like Genji's dragon blade in his Oni skin. Yeah. Okay. I'll just use this chat as my list because you guys are, yeah, animaniacs is what I call you guys. Bible Black is a good anime. Google Bible Black. Okay. I don't use Google. I use Ecosia, but okay. Bible Black. Is it religious? Probably not. Oh, that's a pretty cool weapon right there. Almost looks like Kirito's obsidian sword in Sword Art Online, except it has a double cross guard like it's supposed to. Yeah, I actually really like that sword. Huh. Cool. All right. Well, yeah, I will look through all these anime you guys are suggesting, and I'll pick out the ones I like, and then look further into them and see what I can add to my list of like 70 plus props I have out there already. Okay, come on. It's not flush, but that's okay. At least if you've got at least 2 edges flush, then you're good. I really don't think I have Say Search on. Is Bible Black a graphic anime? Filters, settings. I'll turn it off. I don't think I have it on. Well, I'll just look at it later. Bringing it back to video games, maybe look into the insanity of weapons and outfits in Final Fantasy X. I have seen some things from Final Fantasy, not 10 specifically, but from the whole series. And yeah, I have seen some pretty crazy stuff in there, almost like to Monster Hunter degree. If you want to start with an anime that's light and has awesome swords, then check out Black Clover and its Demon Slayer and Demon Dweller swords. I'm not really like I'm not sensitive to things like that. Like, for example, I have seen like the first like several episodes of Maria the Virgin Witch, which is an anime that takes place in the 100 Years' War between France and England. And yeah, the characters speak Japanese, even though it's in medieval France. But so yeah, I can stomach things like that are graphic. Although if it has like nudity in it, then it's questionable. Especially if the nudity is there for eye candy. Like if the very nudity itself serves a purpose for the story, then that's okay with me. But if it's just there for eye candy, then I really don't like that. What's a hentai? And what is a hentai? That's what the chat was stuff. Okay. I don't know what you guys are talking about. All right. Yeah, that's glued together. Just these 2 now. Okay. All right, cool. And let's set I'm going to set these aside. I'll have to put something on top of them though, just so that they cure properly. All right. That's piece number 2 pretty much done. I just have to cut it on the bandsaw now, but I don't really want to do that right now. All right, moving on to piece number 3. This one I think is 5 layers thick. Oh, it's also 6 layers. Well, we'll make it 5 anyway. How long have you been cosplaying and prop building? 3 years. I started in, let's see. I think, yeah, I started in October of 2016. So, yeah, just 3 more months, and it'll be 3 years. Yep, it's my pride and joy. Hentai, a subgenre of Japanese genres of manga and anime, characterized by overtly sexualized characters and sexually explicit images and plots. Not my cup of tea, no thanks. I'm only okay with that kind of stuff if it serves a purpose to the story. If it's just there for eye candy, then I really don't like that. And Game of Thrones is like that, which is why I don't watch Game of Thrones. Anyway, so what's next? The piece number 3, right? Yeah, this guy. All right, let's get my phone. Where's my phone? Here it is. Okay. In essence, anime porn. Yeah, great. Thanks. I needed to know that. No, I will not watch it if it's like that. If it's graphic, I can do that. But if it's pornographic, then no, not happening. Sorry. Now, if you watch that kind of stuff, then that's totally fine. I don't care if you watch it, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not gonna judge you based on what you watch. I'm just gonna judge you based on how you treat people. And all you guys are super cool people, so I've got no beef with any of you. Anyway, so this is 5, right? Yeah, this is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's just a little too short. Shame. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Whoop. Slight imperfection. There we go. Okay. Anyone say anything? Nope. Okay. Let's keep going. 2.5 hours. It's almost midnight. At least where I live in Oregon. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And this will be piece number 3 for both limbs. Coming back to video games, are you going to play any of the Beyond Skyrim mods and build anything from them? I haven't played Skyrim in a while, so I'm not super up to date on that. I do actually want to make a set of glass armor from Skyrim and cast all the glass pieces with resin. I don't know why I'm going to do that, but I do have plans to do that. It's Beyond Skyrim. I'll take a gander at that real quick and see what that's all about. Excuse me. You guys can see me okay? Yeah. All right. Beyond Skyrim is massive multi. Okay. Yeah, I just want to see armor. Oh wow. Okay. That's a lot of content right there. But yeah, I want to. Oh, concept art. Yeah, this is what I want to look at here. Okay, here's a high rock Reachman fur. Oh, okay. All right. Not super interesting. I want to see the epic stuff. What's this? Ancient Cyrodiilic armor. That looks pretty neat. Yeah, almost looks like Imperial Legion armor to an extent, and ancient Nordic armor. Cross between the two. Pretty cool. 4th era Cyrodiilic. Yeah, nice. Oh, wait, what's this? Ancient Cyrodiilic armor again. That looks almost like ebony. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Huh. Well, I will keep that under my radar, and I might make something from it. And one pretty strong argument on doing so is probably because no one else would really do that, because it's not like super well known as far as I know. Yeah. Currently sitting at 1:42 in Wisconsin, and since my work shift starts in an hour and a half, I had decided no sleep. Yeah, been there, done that, man. It sucks. Yeah, it's 11:42 right now in Oregon, and I have to get off at midnight because I gotta go to work at 8:30 tomorrow, and the commute is like 30 minutes. So anyway, back to business. Let's cut this up again. So this is piece number 3. It's so cool that members of my community are not only from all over the continental United States, but some of them are international. I have had guys reach out to me on Etsy that live in Australia. Coincidentally, Shadiversity also lives in Australia, but yeah, that's awesome. I've also sent commissions to a number of European countries, including Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, if you can believe that. And I've also had clients reach out, or potential clients reach out to me that lived in the United Kingdom, but none of them have hired me to do anything yet. So yeah, it's just great how the world works these days, huh? For entrepreneurs like myself, especially. Okay, so there's that. That's the first 7 pieces, and then here's the 3, totaling 10. Cool. If you want something epic and unknown, and check out Vane's Void armor, not released yet, and another armor sets from AQ3D. Okay, I will take a close look at that when I get some time, because you guys have suggested so many things, I just can't look at all of them. But yeah, I will go back through and watch this video again and look at your guys' chat so I can look at some recommendations. Okay, there's 3, got 7 more to cut. I hope one day to meet you at SakuraCon, since I live about 2 hours away from Seattle. Oh, nice, nice. The internet is a beautiful thing. Yes, I agree. Well, it's pretty dirty sometimes, but yeah, it is beautiful. Yeah, I mean, if you want to schedule like a meetup or something, we can totally do that. I intend to go in 2020 in my NCR Ranger, or excuse me, my Gannon family Tesla armor. And I'm also going to try and go to Emerald City Comic-Con, which I think is in March. SakuraCon is in April. And part of the reason is because I have friends from high school who go to Comic-Con, but they don't go to SakuraCon. So it'd be nice to meet up with those guys. And Comic-Con is considerably larger too. So, like I said, the only reason I go to SakuraCon is because it's kind of a tradition thing now. It's the one that my friends went to when I was back. The friends I had at the time went to that one. So, but I'm not friends with any of those people anymore except one who is currently my Google Blitz patron. So yeah. All right, there's those 10. Now let's glue these guys together, huh? Whew. Or did I just cut 12? No, I cut 11. Oh well. Whichever one is defective, I guess. All right, we'll do these guys over here first. 2 hours, 40 minutes. Man, my throat is hurting from all this talking. I'm not used to it. But I better get used to it if I'm going to be doing it every Sunday. I was considering at one point making another Overwatch build, but I pretty much never play that game now. And it's also kind of lost its popularity, so I'm not too sure. But I wanted to make the Baihu Genji skin. I think that's what it's called. I can't remember off the top of my head because it just looks so awesome, and I really like the color scheme of it. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure I want to do that now. Drink much water. Yeah, I should probably bring a case of water bottles down here in the basement. Is there any build you want to do, but haven't because it's overwhelming? Well, I did do the Daedric armor, and that was overwhelming at first. And my next project is a suit of power armor from Fallout New Vegas. But if I don't think there is a suit of armor that I want to make, but is also too overwhelming, at least at my skill level. I think the most complicated one I can think of right now that I would actually want to build, not just consider, but actually want to build, would be the glass armor from Fallout, or not from Fallout, but from Skyrim. Because I want to make it so that all the glass pieces on there are transparent. And in order to do that, I have to make all the original pieces out of clay, and then make molds out of silicone for those pieces, and then cast them with resin, which will take forever because there's just so many pieces of them on there. So I guess that's the best answer I can think of is, yeah, the glass armor from Skyrim. But as far as I'm concerned, the sky's the limit. It's just a matter of figuring things out. So yeah. I mean, the power armor I'm going to make is going to have LED lights in it, which will give it that flair of uniqueness and make it stand out from other armor sets. And that's what you usually want to do when you do cosplay, is do something to make it unique and make it yours. And sometimes you can also add flaws intentionally. For example, I don't have any videos on this yet, but I made a Marin's Razor from Skyrim a while ago for my Daedric armor. And the handle has like these bands on it. The actual game model has 12 bands on the handle, but the one I made has 11, and I did that on purpose. So yeah, little things like that. And especially if you want to like enter contests. I haven't done any contests yet, but judges will tend to look for things that are unique while also maintaining the accuracy towards the original. But they also really like uniqueness, and they really like it when you use materials that are not like standard. So for example, with my NCR Ranger combat armor, the braces on the wrists have these like white straps that go around it. And well, you could have just done those with foam, but I decided to do those with gauze, with bandages, because that's just kind of what came to mind at the time when I was making it. So yeah. This one is not flush with that, but that's okay. This is the right size though, right? Almost. It's a little too small, but that's okay. It's not like a drastic change. All right. I accidentally glued this piece, even though there's nothing to glue it to, so I'll have to make do. Mistakes be made, especially when you're not thinking about it, and you're thinking about what you're going to say instead. But yeah, I would really like to make the glass armor at some point. I just have to kind of learn how to sculpt, because I don't know the first thing about sculpting, like with clay. The first time I did it was with the gems for the Elder Scroll, and I still have the mold for it. It's right here. It's this guy right here, and these are the gems that go on the piece. These gems right here for piece number 3, and these are okay, but I had to sculpt those with Sculpey, and they didn't turn out like perfect like I wanted them to, but they were good enough. So it was good practice, but I want to really master that before I tackle the glass armor. I love the glass armor from Skyrim, but instead of casting, you can heat form clear plastic sheets. You can also use LED strip to light it up, making it look enchanted. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. I guess I could do acrylic. It's just that acrylic, if you want to get it in the thickness that would be suitable for that armor, it's only really available in clear. Like to get it, I work at a plastic fabrication company, and we only sell colored acrylics in 1/8 of an inch, which is nowhere near thick enough for a lot of the pieces on that armor. But at the same time, I also want to develop that skill for sculpting and mold making anyway. So that's a very good idea, though, and I might put LEDs in it anyway, on top of having the green resin cast pieces. So I love the Dragonbone armor. It doesn't get much attention. Yeah, I have seen someone cosplay as that before, and I also want to do the Dragonbone armor at some point. The helmet in that armor is the best in the entire game, in my opinion. I also want to make the jagged crown from Skyrim, and I told my dad about that at one point, and he really, really, really wants to see that. So I have no idea when I'm going to do any of that stuff, but yeah, there are plans for it. Maybe you could find someone who sculpts for YouTube and collab with them. Didn't think about that. That is actually a genius idea, if you ask me. I know SKS Props does sculpting. In fact, one of his more recent videos, he did a Borderlands mask, and he actually cast it. So what he did was he made the original with clay, and he made the original mask with clay, but it was completely solid. Like you couldn't wear the clay version of it. And then he basically did a brush on mold of it, and then he took some casting resin and did, I think it's called like a slosh casting, where you just kind of move the mold around until the resin hardens in a sheet so that it makes it hollow instead of solid. I don't know where he lives though. I know Punished Props lives in Seattle, so doing a collab with him wouldn't be too much of a hassle, as opposed to say Kamui Cosplay, who lives in Germany, I think. So yeah, I'd have to find out if he's nearby first before I consider that. But yeah, that is a very good idea. I will definitely look into that. All right, let's put this together now. All right. 2 hours, 41 minutes. So I got to get off in 13 minutes, guys. Surprised at how much I got done today. That's great. All right, I guess I'll just add another coat of glue to this. And 8 of you are still watching. That's just crazy. I love it. You guys are awesome. Yeah, the guys at Punish Props are awesomeness. Yeah, I actually saw Punish Props do a collaboration with the Modern Rogue. The Modern Rogue is sitting at about 800 subs right now. So I think but at the time when they did that collaboration, they were at like 200,000. So yeah, at some point I would like to do a collaboration with Punish Props, and I think that would be really fun. Draw with Jazz does sculpting, and he's related to Shad. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're brothers, but I could do a collaboration with them if I could drop $2,000 to fly to Australia. I would really like to meet him in person though, if I can. But yeah. And when I sent Imperius to Shad back in, I think, December last year, I was prepared to pay $200 to ship that, which in Australian dollars is about 300. And luckily for me, I only had to pay about $90, and which is about, I think, 130 Australian dollars or something. So yeah, but it's still a lot. But I consider that an investment. And was it worth it? Yeah, hell yeah, you bet. Because it took me an entire year to get the 800 subscribers I had before Shadversity gave me a shout out. And in just a couple of days, my subscriber count tripled, went from 800 to 2,300. So yeah, definitely worth doing. Do you prefer the heavy Dragonbone armor or the light one? That is a good question. I like them both. I like the helmet of the heavy one more than anything else in the whole game. But as far as the whole armor set goes, yeah, that's a good question. I mean, the light version has a lot more detail on it, but the heavy one also looks a lot more robust and more intimidating. So if I had to pick one, I'd probably go with the heavy one, despite the light one having more detail. So yeah. I like them both, though. I really like both of them. I might do a similar deal I did with Shadowversity to Draw with Jazza, because I think Draw with Jazza has more subscribers than Shadowversity does. So if he did that same thing, then it would be even more effective, I think. Yeah, maybe like he can draw the pattern and then I can actually build the thing. That would be pretty cool. On a side note, you should check out the Elder Scrolls Online game because a lot of recent DLCs introduced a whole lot of armors and weapons. Yeah, I saw a bunch of ads for Elsewhere coming out. I've never played that game before, except like when it first came out, and I actually really hated it because the gameplay was like really clunky. Like I probably played more Oblivion than any of the other Elder Scrolls games, and Oblivion's probably got the most interesting combat because it's both chaotic and strategic at the same time. So yeah, I have pretty high standards when it comes to that. And whereas, yeah, Elder Scrolls Online, yeah, the combat was really clunky, even worse than Skyrim was when I played it for the first time. But it has gotten a lot of updates since then, and it's probably a heck of a lot of better game now. And it's not a monthly subscription anymore like it was when I first played it, so that's good. But yeah, I will definitely look into that and see about possibly making something from there. And suggestion after suggestion after suggestion. I don't even need that Discord server anymore. I can just stream, and then you guys can, rain cats and dogs on me. Okay, so that's this one's done. So I can put this over here actually. All right, I just got to put this one together. So yeah, that's two. That one has not been glued yet. Here we go. So put these together. There we go. Cool. Now which one's smaller? Looks like this one is. Oh, this one's even worse. Okay, get rid of that one. All right, so these 5 are going to be what's glued together. Cool. I used to hate the smell of contact cement, but now I love it. I don't know why. I guess it's like alcohol, acquired taste. I still hate the smell of Plasti Dip, though, and you shouldn't be inhaling that. This is not that harmful, but Plasti Dip is pretty harmful. Too much inhalation of that stuff, and it'll make you dizzy and give you a headache. And I know that from experience. At least I've got a respirator now, though. It's been long overdue to get one of those. And I haven't been getting one because they're like $60, but apparently the company I work at sells them, and they sell them for like $30, and I was able to get a discount on it. So yeah, good stuff. All right, let's wait for that to dry. That's piece number 3, pretty much done. Just need to cut it up now, which I will do some other time. Now we're at piece 4. A little more complicated because it's not a single truncated cone, it's 2 truncated cones. And I think the bottom layer is 3 and the top one is 2, or maybe 1. It's 1.5, so we'll just make it 1, or maybe 1 and a piece of 4mm. The bottom is 2.5. Okay, so the whole thing is 4. Oh yeah, I remember how I did this. So yeah, I did the bottom layer 3 layers, and then the top is 1 layer. So all right. So, but I need to cut 4 of them at this size per piece, so 8 total. Cool. I want this to be flush if I can help it. Not really. Do what you can. Okay. Yes. All right, cool. Making some serious progress. I love it. That's what I like to see right there. It used to take me like, I think the first time I made an Elder Scroll, it took me, I think, 3 weeks to make it. And at the time, I had a lot more time on my hands because I was working a job that only gave me 4-hour-long shifts. The job I work at now gives me 8-hour shifts. I'm still not used to it because I worked that 4-hour shift job for almost 2 years. But yeah, and so I had more time, but it took me longer. It took me 3 weeks to make my first Elder Scroll, and I think my most recent one took me just a few days. So this one looks like it'll take even less. So that's great. Hello for the Honor Forge. I hate to break it to you, but I'm gonna stop the stream in 5 minutes. We've already been streaming for 2 hours 55. So, but hey, you can always watch the pre-recorded version. But yeah, good to have you here, man. Okay. Will you consider making the Blades of Chaos? That's okay. Yeah. Just so you know, I stream every Sunday at 9 p.m. Pacific time. So I live in the state of Oregon in the continental United States. So adjust accordingly. But yeah, I start my streams 9 p.m. Pacific time every Sunday. So you won't miss the next one. So will you consider making the Blades of Chaos and the Levanthian Axe from God of War 2018? Yeah, I did see Shadowversity make the Levanthian Axe, a wooden version of it, and I think I saw Odin make that too, actually. So I might. I mean, the hype for that game has kind of died down because it's been out for a while. But I might, and I will probably try putting LEDs and graphite powder on it to make it look all shiny. As for Blades of Chaos, those I don't know what those are, so I'll go ahead and look those up real quick. Shad's the reason I subscribed. Yeah, cool. Yeah, most of my audience are Shad subscribers right now, so I can be a little more nerdy than I was before. Yeah. So what were we doing? Yeah, the Blades of Chaos. So for Honor Forge, just so you know what we were doing, I'm making an Elder Scroll from Skyrim right now, and I just started working on piece number 4. I made 1, 2, and 3 already, and I'm doing both limbs at the same time instead of one at a time. How like I have been doing for the past like 8 or 7 or 8 scrolls that I've made. So yeah, if you want to go back and watch the stream, you're definitely welcome to, and see what I've been doing. And I do have a couple of YouTube videos on how I made an Elder Scroll, and that was made a number of months ago. So I'm doing basically the exact same thing, just a little a different a bit of a different approach. So yeah, up to you though. I'm just putting it out there just so you know. No, that Blades of Chaos. Here we go. God of War wiki. Oh yes, I have seen those before, and those are pretty crazy looking things. And as crazy looking as they are, I don't think they would be too much of a challenge to make. So yeah, I actually might do that. I'll go ahead and add both those to the list. The Blades of Chaos and the Levanthian Axe, or however you pronounce that. So Blades of Chaos. I haven't really had a chance to play that game, mostly because I don't own a PlayStation, but I would really like to try that game at some point. And okay, but yeah. Maybe make a T-Series inspired cosplay sword for PewDiePie. I don't watch either of those channels, but I do know that they've had a bit of a rivalry recently with the subscriber counts. So I might do that as a joke, but we'll see. I gotta put the kids to bed. Have fun. Yeah, you too, man. Lord knows how chaotic kids can get. I would know because I'm not a dad. I'm not even a husband, but I am the oldest of 4 kids. So yeah, I know what it's like. You got a sub for me when I discovered your Fallout anti-material rifle and Skyrim Greatsword videos. Heck yeah, man. I'm surprised at how well the anti-material rifles. I thought there was a spider under the camera. I'm surprised at how well it's done and how popular it is, because I've had people reach out to me. I've had like 3 or 4 people ask for the pattern for that thing, and every time they did, I told them, yeah, I'm going to make those patterns free for you guys to use eventually. But I went ahead and gave it to them anyway. And I've also had some people ask me what I did to get more insight on it, because in my videos I don't I don't explain a whole lot of detail, mostly because most people on YouTube have a short attention span. So I have to keep it as brief as possible without completely glossing over it. So usually what I do is I say something, like I give it like 1 or 2 seconds and talk about it real quick if it's a detail, but I don't like go into the whole story of it. And what I'll probably do is I'll make like behind the scenes videos or maybe bonus content for the patrons, but I don't know. That's how it is right now. But yeah, I've been glad to have you for this long. It's great. Witcher 3 and Assassin's Creed have some really cool outfits and weapons to build. If you're interested, I have played Assassin's Creed Black Flag. In fact, I played the living crap out of that game when I was in middle school student. And yeah, the outfits in that game are pretty cool. I really like it. And my brother has been trying to get me to play Assassin's Creed Rogue, and I actually have a copy of it on my computer. I just haven't played it yet. So yeah. Cyberpunk 2077 for prop ideas. Serious suggestion time. Yes, I am definitely going to make something from that game when it comes out, because of just all the hype that's built up for that game. So it's a gold opportunity for me as a YouTuber to make something from it. So I'm going to look further into it when I get some time. Right now, I'm in kind of a time crunch. I have to get this Elder Scroll done. I have to get this house sorted out, because I recently moved here and I still got stuff everywhere. And I have to get that stand for Ian done. And I also have to get a Ranger helmet done by the end of the month. Once those things are out of the way, then I can probably chill for a little bit and start focusing more on future stuff. And also start working on my Gannon family Tesla armor. But yeah, definitely going to make something from that game. Absolutely no question about it. Well, yeah. How about Jester's giant spiritual lollipop from Critical Role Campaign 2? That's awfully long, and I don't know what that is, but I'll look at it real quick. Jester's giant spiritual lollipop. Giant spiritual lollipop. Oh, well, that could be a good opportunity for me to put LEDs in it, or if I'm going to just make it solid, I can use an acrylic, or not acrylic, foam, like, what's it called? Dowel, because I've never had a chance to use those yet. But foam retailers sell them in dowels now, and also like cones and pyramids and whatnot. So yeah, I don't know, as a joke maybe. Got Enward Kenway's outfit from Black Flag and Assassin's Creed Unity. Nice, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I would kind of like to make something from Black Flag. It's a great game. All right, guys. Well, it's just over 3 hours now, so I gotta call it quits now. I would like to keep going though, because well, I'm not used to having this many people. Because by this time, there's usually only like 2 people watching, but we've been sitting at around 8 or 9 pretty much the whole stream, and that's just awesome. I love it. So yeah, and I appreciate you guys watching, because it helps with the watch minutes, and eventually, when the watch minutes hit 4,000, then I can start monetizing my content. And yeah. So yeah, it's time I ended. I want to keep going, but I just can't. I have to work tomorrow, and my voice is killing me. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to be making a thank you video for Shadowversity pretty soon. In fact, I was working on it today, but it turns out I really didn't like it, because I focused more on Patreon than I did Shadowversity. So I'm going to completely redo that video. I don't know when I'm going to upload it, maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. And then after that, probably another tutorial, either for the Starlight Keyblade or for something from a time lapse that I made a while back. Probably the Forge Hammer or the Dragon Egg. I don't know yet. I still have to make the Sakura-Con experience video too. So got a lot on my plate right now, but I'm always going to be dishing out content at least once a week in addition to the streams. So technically twice a week. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll see you in the next build. Okay, peace out. Good night.